they think we're punch and pass.
Hey, let's talk about you, the ID10T community events at ID10T.com, like Russ Stevens, a.k.a.
Cat Bus Russ,
who has started a podcast called 90 for Chill, which Russ says is dedicated to movies with a runtime between 74 and 99 minutes, the time frame that I feel is ideal. Russ, I could not agree with you more. That is a fantastic idea. Russ goes on to say there are times you need a cinematic fix but don't have time for the latest Scorsese masterpiece or offering from a comic book universe. There's also times when you need a conclusion to prevent a binge costing you a whole night. My guest and I try to follow these guidelines as we chat up features that are definitely worth your time and are beyond easy to make time for. 90 for Chill, the podcast, can be found on all major podcast platforms at 90forchill.com, and that's spelling out 90, Ninety, 4 FOR, chill. So there you go. Thank you so much for sharing, Russ. Really great idea for a podcast. Events at ID10T.com for everyone else.
Hello there.
After a 10-hour workday, it's about 11 p.m. when I finally get around to finalizing my podcast and uploading it to the internet. So I definitely need a lot of energy, but I don't need all that caffeine. So I rely on Dubby Jitterless Energy Blend. It's a coffee fruit extract, so you get about as much caffeine as a cup of coffee, but you get all the vitamins you could possibly wish for and all the energy, and about half the price. If you spend $4 a shift on energy drinks, you're spending $80 on sugar per month. Why don't you cut that in half and try Dubby Energy Blend? And if you go and visit Dubby.gg and use the promo code CatBusRuss at checkout, you're going to save yourself 10%. So on top of spending half the money, you can at least go and get one over on the tax man. So that's Dubby.gg, promo code CatBusRuss, and start feeling energized today.
Where is she?
Mellow out, man. We can't talk business with you waving guns in people's faces. Your daughter's safe, Colonel. Whether she stays that way is up to you. My people got some business with you. And if you want your kid back, then you gotta cooperate. Right?
Wrong.
Hello, and thank you for checking out this episode of I Dig Crazy Flicks with Cat Bus Russ. I am your host, Cat Bus Russ, and this week we go back to UICon 2026, Champaign-Urbana / University of Illinois, anime, all caps, and comic convention, where I'm joined by Andrew Tiede. You can find him on Instagram, Baking While Baked 1, as we discuss 1985 action movies. This is the 4th edition of the 1985 action movie triple threat match. We're going to have Stallone versus Schwarzenegger versus the likes of the Cannon Group, and a couple of run-ins. And to warm us up for that, I am going to post a review of one of those action stars who's underappreciated in my opinion, Sho Kosugi's 9 Deaths of the Ninja, which is a weird one, but combine that with Pray for Death. Does he win 1985? You'll have to listen to the panel to find out. But before we get to that, fortunately, I was able to actually deliver all my typical formalities, except for the following. To further support the podcast, please rate and subscribe on your favorite podcast apps. 5 stars preferably. Be as honest as you'd like to be in the comments. I will learn from them. I think the best way to contribute to the show is to come on the show and be a guest. Just offer me a film, a director, an actor, a theme. As long as the content we're discussing is off the walls, just a little bit out of touch with reality, I think we can fry up a slice of podcast gold. But if you have something a little more mellow, and technically, aside from how Stallone and Schwarzenegger's weapons work, I guess you could say, well, Rambo and John Matrix are in our reality, or at least the reality of Reagan 80s. So if you're tied to reality, as long as the feature is between 75 and 100 minutes, I'll happily give you 40 minutes on Zoom. So we will jump to that movie review, and then on to the panel.
Sho Kosugi, Ninja Master, Ninja Warrior, Ninja Terror, is now the Ninja Vigilante in 9 Deaths of the Ninja. On the ground, in the air, city. In the jungle. In disguise. Against an army. Against a Hulk. And facing the challenge of the deadliest dark ninjas on Earth, Sho Kosugi, the modern master of 1,000 deaths, is the Ninja Avenger in the motion picture that's 9 times more exciting, more explosive, and more destructive than any ninja adventure before. A cat has 9 lives. Sho Kosugi has 9 deaths in 9 Deaths of the Ninja.
As we enter this 1985 action movie triple threat match, I decided to catch up on more 1985 action cinema, and I found another Sho Kosugi movie, 9 Deaths of the Ninja, which is essentially Pray for Death. If it was a walkthrough, I guess, for Sho, he did do the stunts in this one, and we kind of get the same kind of like smooth opening credits scene, except this is basically just Sho showing off his sword kata with a bunch of dancers, a la like a James Bond opening, except no flair to the proceedings, no underwater or no cool lighting effects. It's just in a white room. You know what you're getting right away. It's a film about the Dart Team, a elite unit of 3, Sho Kosugi as Spike Shinobi, a martial artist, former ninja practitioner who was basically kicked out of being a ninja because, you know, he has emotions. There's a bus that gets hijacked during a wedding in Manila, and eventually they have to send the Dart Team to face off against basically a modern version of Dr. Strangelove, his lesbian henchwoman and her crew of badass ladies, his drug-fueled personal guard, and a 7-foot Islamic terrorist who has just constant laughing. You can tell so much of this is done in ADR, sadly including Sho Kosugi's voice. It again tries to be James Bond in a lot of ways, and it's just more, you shake your head with every silly way of trying to fit that in. And you also get some Rambo style effects. You don't know what weapons Sho is going to use that's going to cause explosives. Like, he has a small crossbow no bigger than, say, a Colt 45, but if he misses somebody, it'll explode. If he hits somebody, it just sticks in him. You don't know why the heck they just didn't... Well, I know why they didn't try to get a PG-13, because this was an action movie, and all action movies were rated R. So you get your eventual... Well, why don't we just show a pair of boobs and just a... Let's flirt with some attempted rapes. It can't be taken seriously at any point. Like, well, we know Kane and Shane Kosugi, who are also in the feature as hostages, will figure a comedic way to stop the bad guys. And you really want to enjoy this. At one point, you have 4 little persons fighting Sho Kosugi in a museum. You have a guy who is trying to escape them, jumps off a 15-foot high platform through a table, and no, he's dead. We have epoxy guns to stop certain villains. It's just so outlandishly silly that you just really don't care if you are paying attention. Yeah, that's a tough thing to do when you're up at 1 a.m. and you're constantly trying to, did I miss something? Rewind it back. So if you are in a sober state, this is a very hard movie to watch. I could see this playing at a B-Fest. I don't know if I want to go to the trouble of finding a physical copy of this, but the last B-Fest lacked a Philippine set film, if I'm correct. If you're just looking for a laugh and you're going to take some kind of foreign agent to put you in a good mood, this might be fun. Probably fun with a crowd, but if you're trying to actually get something out of this feature, it's a waste of time.
We'll be right back. Obey the law.
you do not have to be like me, because I know that everybody's social media feed is bombarded with ads for the new guilt-free snack. But you're scrolling on social media, so you're curious about a lot of things. And fortunately for me, I have a pretty high batting average when it comes to trying stuff from online sources. One of those hits was Deutsch Snacking Dough. It's cookie dough you can eat raw, you can bake into cookies in under 10 minutes, and it just fills you up in a few scoops. I like to eat a pound, maybe 2 pounds of chicken wing in a sitting, and still there's the urge to go for that third pound. But with Deutsch Snacking Dough, you take a couple scoops, and it just settles me down, and I feel full. Free of the top 8 allergens, they're gluten-free, low sugar, and have 3 times the protein of any other dough out there. And it's plant-based. And as I say, I can eat 3 pounds of wings in a sitting if I feel like it. I am a carnivore. Needless to say, I was skeptical about plant-based snacking dough, but my skepticism was proven wrong. So if you go down to the link in the description of this podcast, it will take you to my portal, and you will get 20% off of your order. So find your new snack today, Deutsch Snacking Dough.
Little Hand says it's time to rock and roll.
Bring the noise.
Okay, so obviously, I guess we should take it as a hint when somebody comes in and says everything.
Yeah,
everything
that
good, that it's probably time to go. So, this is a portion of I Did Crazy Flicks. It's going to eventually be a podcast. So, with that said, the following podcast is protected under the laws of the United States and other countries. Any unauthorized duplication, distribution, or presentation is punishable by civil liability, criminal prosecution, or the wrath of the tall man.
That would be me.
Not quite Angus Scrim, but
I'm still intimidating
yeah.
and cuddly.
So let me check my levels again. I think that should be better. Or yeah, okay.
That looks better.
Yeah, it looks better. So, 1985 action movies. It's a year for me. I think it was the peak of action. Honestly, it's violence for the sake of violence.
And not only action, like just a lot of good movies came out in '85. You know,
Back to the Future.
Back to the Future, obviously, probably the most noticeable because it mentions 1985 about 1,985 times.
Yes. Yeah, Back to the Future. Reanimator.
Yes.
Yep.
Good horror franchise starter.
Yeah. And Friday the Nightmare on Elm Street 2, but I mean that's one of the weaker links in the franchise, but I mean it was a horror franchise. Yeah. So good year for horror. But when I think action movies, as I say, I think it's the last year we had violence for the sake of violence.
Yeah, before, like, when we were still in that, like, Darwinian arms race of bigger muscles, more baby oil, bigger caliber weapons.
Well, not necessarily, because we still had Charles Bronson and...
Yeah, one of the remnants of, like, the 70s action heyday.
And you had Chuck Norris.
Yeah, who was a category all in himself, honestly.
Yeah, right. I think crap actor and...
Very terrible.
Honestly, doesn't show off a lot. Like, after David Carradine doesn't show a lot of martial arts off. He usually saves it for one fight.
Yeah.
And doesn't sell.
That and the guy who's seen far too many episodes of Walker, Texas Ranger than he cares to admit, he only has, like, the same 4 kicks.
The first time I did this panel is in Atlanta, and one of the, like, no, I'm quite the martial artist. Like, he can do all this. I'm not saying he can't.
I'm just saying he did it on film.
Yes. So action was, like, king in 85, and you had, when I bring up Charles Bronson and Chuck Norris, those would be representatives of the Cannon Group. Golem Globus, 2 Israelis who bought a cinema chain and were trying to make it big. They kind of killed themselves in this year, despite the successes they had, which also is Michael Dudikoff in American Ninja. Chuck Norris had 2 movies, Missing in Action and Part 2.
Yeah.
The beginning.
Yeah.
And
which is as confusing as it sounds.
well, they originally shot they actually shot Missing in Action 2 first.
Oh, that's right.
And then they heard, Rambo is going to go back to Vietnam. We got to beat him to the punch.
Yeah, we got to get going back to our last
panel 1986 knockoff movies. And then they were creating their new hero, Michael Dudikoff, the American Ninja. And the big problem for Cannon, though, is this is the beginning of the end, because this is when they basically were borrowing money from Superman 4 to fund these movies.
Which explains so much about Superman 4.
And Life Force was their big movie. I love it. Matilda May.
Well, I mean, it's appealing to look at, but it's not a good movie.
I will argue the quality of Life Force. I mean, where else are you going to get London? Like, you get a vampire movie, you get a space movie, you get zombie movie by the end, you get Steve Railsback making out with Patrick Stewart.
An acid trip. That's where you get that.
Okay, all right. But Cannon was going to be going downhill from here. So, otherwise for action, you only really had two big stars. Sylvester Stallone, who definitely made the most money in 1985.
Oh, yeah.
And Arnold Schwarzenegger quickly catching up with him. This is fresh after The Terminator and Conan the Destroyer and Barbarian.
He was still in that weird part of his career where he couldn't just play a person. He was still playing like a medieval warrior
or
a robot.
Yes.
Like he couldn't just be a dude. He was barbarian or a robot.
1985 is when that changed.
Eventually.
Yes, he did still
have one sword and sandal flick.
Right. So yeah, really, now that and it's the Rewatchable podcast that should get Joey Pants on it, Joe Pantoliano. Just been something I've been pitching since I met the man.
You dropped the name.
Oh.
You dropped the name.
Oh. Yeah. Thank you. So it came down to on the Rewatchables. They say, why are we giving the Oscars out the year after the movies came out when we don't know how they're going to age, i.e. American Beauty, Crash, give us some time. So I give it 30 years, and we're going to figure out who was the action hero. So Stallone had Rocky IV and Rambo, First Blood Part 2.
Again with the confusing titles.
Well, I mean, it should have been First Blood 2 Rambo. I mean, is that how you would put it?
I would have called it Rambo 2.
Which they eventually did with Rambo 3.
Right.
Where we thank the Mujahideen for their efforts.
Shut up.
Sorry. I've veteran over here. I was in school. So, I would consider now when you compare Stallone to Schwarzenegger, I would say there's a difference between sports movies and action movies.
Oh, sure.
So I would say what we're getting to is I think Commando versus Rambo.
Yeah, very very similar but different action movies.
Yeah.
And one was Rambo took itself more seriously than it probably should have. And that goes all the way up to the most recent sequels where it's Old Man Rambo.
Yeah. I mean, love the 06, 07, I think.
Somewhere in that. You're in the neighborhood.
And Last Blood, I do appreciate that he does rip somebody's heart out to show it to him.
Yeah, like that was cool. It
was just
that made little child me go yay.
Yeah, we just had to go and sit through whiny Rambo to get to that point.
Well, as the resident veteran, as you like to put it, we get whiny when we get in our feels, okay? And when we get old, we get in our feels.
Which is probably why so many veterans didn't care for Rambo.
Exactly.
Because this is, again, find a way to not serve.
Bruh.
Right, so it's Rambo and Commando, which is just the ultimate. It's the silliest action movie
when
ever.
You think of like the cheesy '80s action movies, Commando's probably the quintessential stereotypical one. Honestly,
Yes.
it's got it's probably one of the most quotable of Schwarzenegger's movies, which is saying something because his movies are just quote factories.
I mean, this is where we made "I'll Be Back."
Yeah,
a thing.
Yeah, not Terminator, but yeah, this one.
Yeah, it spawned in Terminator.
Yeah, I would say that was the origin. It was just kind of a throwaway one-liner that would become like Schwarzenegger's opus.
As they point out in Last Action Hero.
Yes. Rubber baby buggy bumpers.
So there, so yeah, you have Commando and you have Rambo. Similar movies, but Commando is all about just fun.
Yeah, I mean, it's an insane premise. You know, I mean, but the funny thing is, like, I know so many suburban dads, like, that's what they like, oh yeah, if someone kidnaps my daughter, I'm going to do like, this movie is my playbook. I'm like, dude, no. So, you're not Arnold Schwarzenegger, and this isn't a cheesy 80s action movie. Call the cops.
What, you didn't, what, you expect me to smell him? I did.
He's sleeping. Just, so many good ones.
Yes. So that's the most fun. Now, I mean, the kickback, and I don't know, Bridget Nielsen kind of disqualifies movies now that when we stop and think about 1985. Because Red Sonja, what a waste of an Ennio Morricone score.
But, okay, look, that one holds a place in my heart because it was something that my dad and I watched a lot when I was little. Mm-hmm. And I don't, my dad and I didn't bond over much. We bonded over this bad movie. Plus, I liked it because as a kid, I thought Ernie Reyes Jr. was the coolest little dude. I thought he was the man.
Yeah, everybody loved Ernie Reyes Jr. And no, he's a really cool guy. I'll give him that. He had his own health scare, so he's a little more contemplative.
Yeah, sure.
But but so like, he didn't give us a lot of Kino energy.
As a guy our age, he was like the everywhere kind of action kid.
I guess for me the issue becomes that again, as we talked about in '86, I wasn't allowed to watch PG-13 rated movies.
Yeah, and I can remember watching RoboCop when I was 4 or 5.
Yeah, I mean it's the class, and that was a common thing with parents at least. And because violence and cursing, that's fine. Just don't show them any boobs.
I remember say the only movie I can remember being shushed away from once my dad started playing in the VCR, Barbarella.
Yeah, which is PG.
And there are boobs in the first 30 seconds.
Yeah.
During the credits.
She's doing a striptease.
Credits, nudity.
Yeah.
What?
I was thrown off. Like, the first time I got anything like that was, and I don't know if they still do it in Peoria. It used to be a Thanksgiving tradition on WGLO, where they would, at noon on Thanksgiving Sunday, they would play the Alice's Restaurant.
Yeah, there was a station here in town that used to do it too.
Yeah, and I loved it. It was a fun story. And then Dad showed us the movie and hippies and boobs.
Yeah.
And PG. So I guess it's okay. So yeah, nudity was the big thing that I think most parents were opposed to. The idea of your kid thinking about sex. I just have the talk, okay?
Like I said, Barbarella is the only movie I remember getting rushed out from. I can think of so many movies right in that same time frame. Again, people didn't have clothes on, and my dad's like, he'll learn.
So I guess coming back to it as a teenager, Ernie Reyes is just an annoying little shit to me.
I mean, he gives off that energy a lot with aspects of the Kino character in Ninja Turtles 2, obviously, and he's also a whiny little shit in Surf Ninjas, which is still an underrated movie.
I had not gotten around to that one,
bro. Ignore the Rob Schneider of it all, but it's a good bad movie.
Okay, and it's
got Leslie Nielsen.
Yeah,
come on, dude.
Yeah, but Leslie Nielsen was like the down like.
I mean, oh yeah, he was doing it for a check. I mean,
right. Well, I mean that's an entirely different thing because Leslie Nielsen, the entire reason it worked in Airplane was we didn't expect that from him. I mean, 2 years later, he's burying Ted Danson in sand, letting the tide come in.
Yeah.
the entire thing was, we didn't expect that from him. And, you give it... I just bought...
He played a douchebag in MASH, yeah.
So I just... do research, make sure I'm full on this, that I have Red Sonja. Like, last time I did this panel, I just said, we don't talk about Red Sonja. And it was kind of agreed upon.
How dare you?
We this is a guy from the Cinema Shit Show. That's his podcast, Nick's Eclipse, and he's like, I think you're right. We shouldn't really think about it.
Look, like I said, I know it's not a good movie, but I enjoy the hell out of it. But I also like cheesy sword and sandal flicks. I like cheesy kung fu flicks. I like goofiness and violence.
Yes. To research this, I like, oh shit, Red Sonja's not on any streaming. Well, do they have it at Disc Replay? All right, cool. And then
I buy it at a truck stop, dude.
And then I found for $5 they had Police Squad. Oh, the originals, the 6-episode series
that spawned
the Naked
Gun shit. Yeah.
And then, as they say, the first Naked Gun's it's just superb.
Cinema, as the kids would say.
Yes, second and third, it was definitely diminishing returns.
That third one was a flaming pile of dog shit.
Yeah, I mean, great line. Read from James Earl Jones.
Oh, sure.
Who's that? It looks like Phil Donahue puking into a tuba. Fred Ward's your villain, and it's still that one hurt.
How are you gonna waste Fred Ward?
I know. I mean, I should now that we bring up Fred Ward. I said there would be run-ins when we talked about this. Remo Williams, The Adventure Begins.
Whoa. Okay, justify why we're bringing that up.
Well, it is an action movie.
Okay.
I mean, Wilford Brimley.
Diabetes.
Yeah, I mean,
the oatmeal guy.
Oh yeah. So I mean, but it was supposed to kick off the new Indiana Jones.
Right.
And it's racist to all hell. And the guy got a Best Supporting Actor nomination for being. It was just a Jewish journeyman actor made up to be a Korean. I mean, it's so, and that was the 80s, and I can transition it back to this because,
please,
as I say, talking about violence for the sake of violence, that's what Death Wish 3 is.
That was most Bronson action flicks anyway.
Well, but I get that, but this is like I hadn't really watched the first two Death Wish, just like. So it just seems too mean, and then this is like all like the cops are on his side, and then as I say, violence for the sake of violence. Like, give me the Replacement Killers,
sure,
or any Hong Kong movie, or Ronin. Yeah. Collateral Damage to be expected.
Sure.
In Death Wish 3, the villains are like going door to door. This isn't like and.
Yeah, it's like literally ding ding. No, it's not the Avon lady. Pop.
Yeah, that's the meanness of it. And I would say you could see that with Chuck Norris in Invasion USA as well.
Oh sure.
Like,
well, I mean, you got a lot of that, like the true mindless violence is like depicted in like the Bronson movies. You got a lot of that in the 70s and 80s Bronson movies.
Yeah.
The Clint Eastwood stuff with like Dirty Harry and things like that. Just violence for the sake of just cruelty.
Well, I mean, Dirty Harry at least had boundaries though. He had stuff to deal with. Like the first Dirty Harry.
Sure.
First Dirty Harry is like he's got a villain so sadistic.
Well, but that's what I'm saying. But the villain is so sadistic.
But the entire point of that villain, though, is he's using the system against him.
Well, yes.
And so he's being weaselly, what have you. And then you have Magnum Force, which is the sequel.
Yep.
And that one, he's the good guy because he's not the dirty cop.
Which...
And the sudden death. Deadpool is it was just I think it just got silly, the entire idea of Eastwood, and it was all directed by who was the he directed Conan the Barbarian and basically threw out Oliver Stone's script like, no, this is a badly...
when you can take Oliver Stone and say what you will about him, but Oliver Stone's script, guy can make a decent script.
Yeah.
When you take his script and go yeet, the cojones.
Yes. It's so... John Milius. That's
Yes, I knew it was something like that. But
right. And it was just again the Dirty Harry. At least Charles Bronson's a psychopath. Dirty Harry, at least
in every role he was in, he couldn't act. He could just be Charles Bronson.
I wouldn't say that with not that he had a lot of lines as harmonica in Once Upon a Time in the West.
Right, because we just need you to be mean and not say anything.
You needed him to be stoic,
yeah,
fast with the gun, and we know you're the hero once we reveal how evil.
Well, that was the thing.
Evil,
Charles Bronson was so nuts that they had to have even nutser antagonists to make him look like a viable option.
I can't remember the Fonda who played
Henry.
Henry Fonda, yeah. Like we were so shocked that Henry Fonda kills a kid in the first 5 minutes of the movie.
because he was like America's grandpa.
Yeah, at that point he's like the young grandpa.
Yeah, he was a young cool one.
Yeah, and then so, but I'm just saying and it was the thing with Cannon too, trash cinema.
Oh yeah.
But with Chuck Norris and Invasion USA, that is the most psychotic, I think, because he's like, and never mind, I just never got over the fact he's shooting like a stormtrooper.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, it makes me think if the Empire would give their stormtroopers fully automatic weapons,
you're gonna logically accidentally, yeah. Well, they did that because that's the shot of every Chuck Norris poster you've ever seen, and if you think of a Chuck Norris movie video cover, it's him shirtless with the chest hair and the leather and the baby oil and the two Uzis at 45-degree angles from the hip, akimbo. And he was firing like that. If you ever taken a firearms safety class in your life, everything you should not be doing is in this picture.
But even Chuck Norris is like,
well, because he's Chuck Norris, he doesn't go swimming. Water just likes to be around him.
The legend. I think that is the classic. We made why did we make the legend out of this guy?
I mean, he had a good mustache.
The beard,
the beard and mustache combo. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and nobody thinks of. Yes.
I think it's because nobody really watches his movies, so it's kind of more the legend.
I better say, because most people's very good point. Because most people's exposure to Chuck Norris, even me who watch a lot of 80s movies, and I've seen the other one we've talked about, but I remember him as like Walker, Texas Ranger. I remember him as selling what was that weird?
It wasn't the Solo Flex, the Bowflex.
Bowflex, yeah.
Bowflex, yeah.
Him, Wesley Snipes, and Christy Brinkley were selling workout equipment in the mid-late 90s.
And he was making more money doing that than he was ever with Cannon. He got himself a bad deal, which I guess would justify him being so pissy in these movies. But
from what I understand, he was pissy because he woke up.
Well, it's just but again, you're cheering this guy on. He's just straight out telling you I'm a psycho. He's not being cool about it. No, he's not dirty. Clint Eastwood is
psycho,
cool.
But cool.
Yeah.
With 3 O's. Cool.
Yeah. Charles Bronson, going back to him, I think is he was the angry grandpa.
Yeah, he was, because back then, action heroes didn't have to have Schwarzenegger or Stallone's bills.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could be the paunchy dude next door, and then that's why he was so popular, because everyone was watching him look just like the dude.
Mm-hmm. You're right. And, but as I say, we kind of like we were probably laughing more at Bronson being able to just go and and which is really crazy, judging that his wife is raped. But then it's he's gonna go and he's gonna kill somebody for the hell of it.
I say, the first 10 minutes of this movie is horrific and traumatizing on so many levels, and then the guy just spends the next 70 minutes murdering everything in sight.
Yeah, and Death Wish 3. With the cops being on his side, now we're not even supposed to think about the mental dilemma.
We've given homie carte blanche to just go chaos.
And the movie is still mean. They come up with
the door Avon killers. Yeah.
Yes, and he loses his best friend from Korea War to start the movie. That's your deciding incident.
Which, is an easy go-to trope.
Yeah.
Take out veteran buddy.
Right. And they still take the time to go and get him a love interest.
Yep.
We were talking outside about Tom Atkins in Halloween 3 Season of the Witch. How creepy that is.
Dude's 50, date 19, hopefully.
Well, look, Tom Atkins is you brought up how old Tom Selleck is today.
Yep.
So he's probably within 5 years of that.
Yeah, that makes
maybe even under.
He's 80 adjacent.
So so subtract 40 now from that number, and Tom Atkins is just the guy who's always looked like he's 50.
True.
Okay, so it's not as creepy if you do the math. It's still
Creepy.
That's just how it's going to come up. But they give him they still take the time to give Chuck Bronson a love interest in Death Wish 3 just so they can kill her.
Yeah.
Like we don't need that. He's already killing people.
Yeah, that was almost girl in the refrigerator before that became a trope.
Yeah.
Almost.
It's just so... It's mean, but the violence is so ridiculous. You still kind of like...
Well, because again,
when you end it with a rocket launcher,
sure. Like at the end of the day, you were going to get what you paid for: Charles Bronson whooping ass, explosion.
Okay, so, but yeah, I mean, you couldn't. So, just thinking about the titles, the title of who's the action hero of 1985, you can't give it to Charles Bronson.
No.
You can't give it to Chuck.
No.
Michael Dudikoff. That's why I put Cannon Group together.
Sure.
Michael Dudikoff. And Steve James, I think, was the black guy in
I believe so.
Which is tragic.
Please don't quote me.
Right, it's tragic. It's tragic. He was stuck with Cannon. He's also in the Delta Forces as the black guy.
It was the 80s. That's what. Yeah.
But he was an awesome martial artist. Though.
Yeah.
And
I was say the dude was good.
Yeah, and sadly, like when it's like by American Ninja 3.
How many of those did they make?
5.
Oh, God.
Michael Dudikoff wouldn't do it because they were going to shoot it in South Africa, 1990. So.
Oh, you mean when it was a little dramatic?
Nelson Mandela is still sitting in the cell.
Right.
So why didn't you just replace him with that? And I think they probably knew he had pancreatic cancer, and that's why.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah. So it's really tragic.
Yeah.
But Michael Dudikoff is fun, and he doesn't look normal. He doesn't look like an action star.
No,
he was a model, honestly. And they had to teach him how to be a martial artist for the movie.
And you can tell by watching it that it's a model who had just learned how to throw this kick 30 seconds ago before they said action.
Talking about kicks, I don't think Stallone can throw one.
No, because he's 5'4".
Well, I can throw it. I can throw the kicks.
Yeah,
not
the
my
machine.
Thing. Oh no, I can get I used a boot as a wrestling move, so
little fella.
Yeah, I'm flexible. That's all I'm saying.
No, I don't have any of that left.
But Michael Dudikoff is fun because he is the fish out of water. On top of that, being the secret ninja trained and somehow ends up in the Philippines and the army and.
Which again, the phrase "American Ninja," that just
that was a part of the joke. There are no American ninjas.
It's again everything about it. Just like, hey,
sorry,
we haven't coined the term cultural appropriation, but this is the blueprint.
So the actor was Steve James. So I think I may have nailed it. I think I may have said Jones, but
you were ballpark.
Yeah, but. It's such a funny, silly premise. You're there for the ride. So American Ninja is definitely fun and worthwhile, I think. But can those three take on Schwarzenegger and Stallone?
No.
Okay.
Because they would take 3 of them to take on any one of these other 2 in comparison to what they did in the movies in the same year.
Okay, so I've done this panel thrice before. We came to a draw in Atlanta.
Okay.
But we know who took the fall. Double cover.
Okay.
Cannon Group.
Sure.
I mean, there's 3 of them.
Yeah.
So Chuck Norris, we'll go with the legend and we'll work on that joke later.
Sure.
All right. In Des Moines at GalaxyCon, Schwarzenegger with Commando. And in St. Louis, the audience said Stallone. I think they were still keeping Rambo. Rocky IV as an action movie.
See, here's going to be my kind of deciding factor. Rambo, good movie. Commando, good movie. Now it comes into the not so good movies.
Okay.
Which is the worst movie?
Yeah.
Red Sonja,
Right.
Rocky IV.
Okay. Rocky IV, the
Both
directors.
have Bridget Nielsen in it,
Okay.
oddly enough.
I think Stallone kind of did a Vince McMahon rewriting history thing.
A little bit.
When he did Rocky IV, the director's cut, Rocky versus Drago.
Yeah.
He took away all the fun from the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it around then when there was the Rocky, like, this is dedicated to the brave fighters?
Yeah,
That's
same
Rambo.
one.
That's Rambo 3.
Right, but there was
1988.
there was a really raw patriotic flags and eagles speech that Rocky does at the end of the fight.
I came to the ring, and you guys hated me, and I didn't like you. But after these, you two of us killing each other.
How many concussions do you think he got on those movies?
Judging that he got one of those stunner heart attacks from
Oh, that's
Dolph
right.
Lundgren.
Because no one told Dolph that he wasn't supposed to kill anybody on set. They just let Dolph be Dolph, and he's a very scary man. Also a genius, but
Yes.
yeah, he's legit like a biochemist.
Played two Soviets in the same because he was in View to a Kill briefly. In 1985.
Yeah.
So two Soviets in 85.
Which is weird that we have a Swedish dude playing a Russian dude.
I think
Swedish, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I like to say white people ruin everything.
Yes.
And we even sabotage ourselves.
Yes.
And,
we're good at that.
Right. And I think after, Hitler's ideal, that suddenly if you're blonde and built, you're going to be the villain. So we just assumed the Soviets were Aryans. Like, there's nothing like no Russian. Most
even in
Russians
comic books, because late '80s, Frank Miller doing The Dark Knight Returns.
Yeah.
The big neo-Nazi kind of weird German Russian chick with the weird things, and she looked like Dolph Lundgren's sister.
Kick-Ass too.
Yep.
Again, it comes down to like, okay, yes, Rocky IV, but it's a sports movie.
Yep. But sports sports is action.
It is, and like you could say, well, Bloodsport's a sports movie. I mean, it has it in its name, but yeah, but the idea
that one is more of a straightforward action movie with sports in it, whereas Rocky is a sports movie with action in it.
Okay,
if that's
all
maybe
right.
the.
But I told you there would be run-ins.
Yep.
So we had the run-in from Red Sonja.
Yep.
Sho Kosugi broke free of the Cannon Group with Pray for Death.
Oh, wow. I haven't thought about that movie in a long... Bro, I forgot all about that one.
That's a movie you can drink to for every guy who gets a shuriken to the face.
Yeah, dude, yes.
And it has
I lost count. There was over a dozen, right?
Close to. Somebody, if they're not getting in the face, they're getting in the throat.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
And again, that's another mean one. Like, let's throw an unnecessary rape in. That was the 80s.
It was a bad time to be a female or even a minority in a lot of them too, because you were going to have something really horrendous and therapy-inducing done to you before the credits were even usually done in the first 10 minutes.
Well, she got lucky because they abused the youngest Kosugi, and his Sho's two sons are his sons in this movie, Kane and Shane.
Oh.
Shane's the little one. He gets brutalized, and then let's brutalize the missus. And
thank you for making me remember all this.
Yeah, I mean the shuriken, it's just so silly. And the problem is it gets so edited because I think I've seen cuts where the cut I saw, they took out the rape scene. We just know.
Well, I know they cut didn't they cut back on blood spray or something too?
Oh, well, never mind. I am very disappointed by the end. Like, we're going to push the villain through the table saw essentially.
Oh yes,
he's just begging. Like, well, I guess it makes sense. Pray for death. And
roll credits.
Yeah. So I'm just throwing it out there. Sho Kosugi was so awesome in the canon Ninja trilogy.
Yeah.
And thinking back to my disc replay trip, I found Police Squad, and they're selling 3 DVDs. If you buy 3 DVDs,
right?
Three free, right now. Just and all right, so it's like, well, I found Police Squad, I found Red Sonja, and then I didn't find Pray for Death. It's like, oh, what else could I use for the panels? Regardless, I decided I bought 2. I grabbed 2. Might as well see where I can go. I found Ninja 3: The Domination from 1984. Never seen it?
No.
Oh, okay. This is
you've out obscured me. I'm impressed.
Okay. So Sho Kosugi's in Enter the Ninja with Franco Nero as the bad guy. 1981, I think.
Okay.
1982's Return of the Ninja, where he gets to be the good guy.
Okay. Yep.
Ninja 3: The Domination. None of these movies have anything technically to do with each other. It's just Sho Kosugi's in them.
Sure.
But Ninja 3 is not about Sho Kosugi until the end. It's you have this ninja who goes like the killing spree at a golf course to start it.
A golf course.
Yes.
How 80s can we get, folks?
So he's killing it. He does a hit. The ninja does a hit at a golf course.
As you do.
And then he's running away from the cops.
Like you do.
Kills about 30 of them.
Like that, like you do.
And they do bring him down, but he passes his spirit on to a telephone technician.
Shut up.
Who's also who's a woman and also an aerobics instructor.
Absolutely. 80s.
Yes. And so now she's being possessed at times to go and kill all the cops.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. And Sho Kosugi's brought in from Japan to go and stop this.
It's a ninja exorcism?
Yes.
Yes.
Only a ninja can kill a ninja.
Yes.
Sorry again to do accent
Quit
work.
doing that.
Okay. But I'm trying my best because James Hong tries an exorcism first.
Yes.
Okay. So Ninja 3: The Domination, 1984. So Sho Kosugi just has such a reputation. Pray for Death is pretty good, but do you think it's up? I mean, you had to think about it. And yes,
you sold me. I want to watch this movie now.
Ninja 3 or
yeah, that one.
Okay, yeah, Pray for Death is what
I
brought back. Okay,
no.
okay. So I think he doesn't quite top John Matrix or John Rambo. Lots of Johns.
It's a generic name that you both could pronounce easily.
Okay, so okay, so we got about 12 minutes left. I got one more run in, and this was brought up right at the end of my panel.
Oh, I'm at rapt attention.
Okay, I'm going to say it.
Hit me.
And I think you know the response.
Come on.
Who is the baddest?
Show enough.
Who is the best?
Show enough.
Who is the master?
Show enough.
The Shogun of Harlem.
Show enough.
Kiss my Converse.
Show enough.
All right. So Barry Gordy, that's the most ridiculous thing about it. It was a music video. This is what this movie is.
Weird. But I love this movie so much.
And I've grown up with Commando. I finally got around. Like, I was doing a 1985 panel at the Indiana Comic Convention, just talking about the movies.
Sure.
And so I finally got around to The Last Dragon, and the glow. I mean,
yes,
Matrix comes closest, I think, to getting the glow. Rambo's got the M60.
But they don't match up to Bruce Leroy and the glow. Again, terrible name.
But Bruce Leroy Green.
yeah, but
We got to make the remake. Thank you.
Yeah, yes. If we do the remake, it's his last name is now Jenkins, and he will scream it because yes.
But there's not as much there's not as much action. So we're really only talking about great character. I mean,
Sure. This one is not heavy on action. It's more of the production.
It's a music video.
The characters.
Apollonia was it?
Yes, Apollonia.
Okay. And
also did stuff with Prince, if I'm not mistaken. Didn't she do Purple Rain?
She was. I think she did Purple Rain, and she ended up being an Action Jackson.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that
with Carl Weathers.
Dylan, you son of a bitch.
Carl Weathers?
No.
She died. I'd say just before the pandy, probably 2017 or so.
Yeah, she hung around for a little while, but her career died around that time.
Yes, so Action Jackson.
You know.
I think I saw in her Highlander. Like I've got the entire Highlander series. So
as one should.
Yes, thank you. So I think she was in one of those episodes.
Oh,
Joey
yeah.
Pants was in another episode from Highlander the series.
I forgot a lot of people needed paychecks
Roddy
back
Piper,
in the early 90s.
Ron
of course,
Perlman.
Roddy Piper. Yeah, keep naming those character actors. Come
Anthony
on.
Stewart Head.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah.
He was in prison at that time.
I say, cocaine's a hell of a drug.
So, this Bruce Leroy and Sho'nuff.
Like I said, I think the character work is what makes that one the endearing movie. But as far as action movies goes, I don't. Like I said, yes, there's action in it, but that's not the meat and potatoes of it.
And a young William H. Macy.
Why did I always forget Homeboy is in that movie? I haven't seen it in 20 years.
He's a PA. I mean, a PA for our villain record producer who just wants to get his girlfriend.
Yeah, did I mention one of the main antagonists of this kung fu movie that takes place in Harlem is a record producer?
Yeah, trying to get his Cyndi Lauper knockoff.
Yeah,
on Apollonia's VJ show.
Yeah, that was the premise of a movie. Made by a music producer.
Yeah.
So,
Barry,
what are you telling us, buddy?
Yeah. So, yeah. But does Bruce Leroy come in and steal that? What was his name? Something
that's hard to pronounce like that.
Which probably shot his career down.
Probably.
I mean, granted, it's the 80s. You don't have to have a hit movie. And I don't think The Last Dragon was a...
I mean, not at the time. That was one of those ones that definitely achieved the cult status and stuff like that.
Yeah, that was something I always considered buying at Kroger.
Oh, dude.
Yeah. Timac.
Okay.
Okay, and it wasn't Abalonia. It was Vanity.
Oh, Abalonia was from the Prince movie, Purple Rain. Yes, Vanity. Okay, yes.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Haha.
So, that's Julius Curry as Sho'nuff. And his photo on IMDb looks nothing like Sho'nuff.
Well, no, because Sho'nuff looks like
he passed away. That's all I'm saying. I want to be remembered as Sho'nuff.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. Remember back in the late '90s when people thought Busta Rhymes played Sho'nuff because of the music videos and the fact that he looked really, really close to Sho'nuff.
And then he does the kung fu fight with Michael Myers.
Yeah, the '90s and early 2000s were weird. I can admit that now.
Yeah, but it goes back to the thing we were talking about. Why can't we get these crazy movies? Why aren't we getting these pitched? Is fentanyl really ruining Hollywood that much because you can't do coke anymore?
I never thought I'd say this, but I miss cocaine in Hollywood. I know it's a terrible thing that probably shouldn't be put in your body. I've never tried it personally. I snorted a Kool-Aid powder packet on a dare, and that about killed me, so I knew I couldn't do cocaine.
Yeah.
I wish I could say I was a child. I was in my 20s.
Yeah, so it's geesh. I don't want to think too much now into it that we just discovered we need more cocaine.
Yeah.
That would get it. Cocaine got us through Reagan.
Yeah.
And he was it's after 10. He was a fucking asshole because of his war on drugs. There's no way we can endure the 80s without cocaine.
And by the way, let's give it up to drugs for winning the war on drugs, by the way.
Yeah, man.
Because it damn sure wasn't like I had the just say no button. That didn't stop me from smoking weed later in life.
Oh no, I was in Dare. I was gonna
My school couldn't afford Dare. That's why we had the just say no buttons. We couldn't get the Dare T-shirts, but we just got the buttons.
They at least have a cop come in and instruct you.
Yeah, it was the same old bastard that drove my dad home every time he got drunk.
Well, it's like, see, I grew up in a town where we had like a cop for every 100 people.
No, I grew up in Mayberry with more meth.
Every
Special.
every state has somebody trying to claim meth capital of the world.
White County, Indiana, where I am from, was actually the meth capital of Indiana for 2 years in a row.
As I say, just Indiana. Like we're all like everybody, like St. Louis, East St. Louis.
Like I said, no, we don't claim the world, but we were number one in the state 2 years running, baby. Better than the football team.
So it was an argument I had with.
In Seattle, so it's got fentanyl.
Oh hell yeah.
Yeah,
I was given that once after my open heart surgery, I believe, and I can understand why people like that stuff so much.
After late surgery, so.
You bruh.
Well, I just probably have to get a step back from that. Thank you very much, though, for your control and restraint on language.
I'm doing my level-headed best, sir.
I mean, we said 13 plus on this one, so
oh yeah,
I got mine. I'm sorry I took it away from you.
No, you're good, man. Like,
well, it's listed as 13 plus.
Yeah. So
I didn't.
Yeah,
when I submitted the panel,
usually when we do
10 o'clock,
and usually when we do 13 plus episodes, you usually let me have the F-bomb. So I was glad to let you know. I was glad to share. I'll get it next time, you son of a bitch.
So I love Bruce Leroy.
Yes,
but
no, I agree.
Okay, so I'm going Commando.
I also
I'm going Schwarzenegger.
I am going Commando as well.
The audience.
Cheer for Commando.
Schwarzenegger.
Okay, we got two.
Two. And Stallone.
We got 1, 2. So we are okay.
It is Schwarzenegger.
It is Arnie.
Yep. So yeah,
the Governor wins it.
Mm-hmm. The question is, who in this current day and age can still claim that? Modern day.
That becomes really hard because we don't have.
As I say, we were celebrating violence and masculinity.
We don't have as many action stars of that ilk. I mean, Statham kind of.
I mean, Keanu.
Keanu, but at the same time.
Alzheimer's, or is that Bruce Willis?
Bruce Willis.
Bruce Willis. He would later kind of be like the third amigo to. He was an investor with Demi Moore and Stallone and Schwarzenegger in Planet Hollywood. Right. So he would, and he, like I said, he would also be like the third amigo and just kind of like that '80s action hero trifecta. Mm-hmm. Because he came in later with Die Hard and that stuff, so he kind of
which is impressive when you beat Mad frickin' Max out,
bruh.
And we didn't. I guess we should do a run in. Beyond Thunderdome is just not up.
I mean, Beyond Thunderdome was a fantastically weird movie in the best way possible. I mean, come on. You had Tina Turner, who I don't even know if she realized she was in that movie. And then you have Master Blaster. As a large fellow, do you know how many of my friends of a smaller stature, and I have done that at local bars after a few happy hour drinks? And I'll let you guess which one I am.
Yep. My story about Beyond Thunderdome is more just confusion.
Sure.
Okay, so Tina Turner's hair all blown out.
Looking like $1 million, by the way.
Next year, and as I say, I didn't have something to compare it to.
Sure.
Scarring stuff when we were talking about 86.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Was Labyrinth. Next year.
Bowie.
And I see the Pope, compare the posters of the video boxes.
They are very similar dudes. Very, very, very similar quaffs.
Yes. So when I finally got to see like a free Saturday morning Christmas, like back in Morton, they would do December, would be all free movies to the kids.
Oh, okay.
And they showed Labyrinth. It's the first time I get to see Labyrinth.
Wait, you saw it on the big screen?
Yeah.
So you got to see that cod piece like this big.
But to start, I start freaking out because like little monsters, and we
Sure.
already had our gremlins.
Yes, we had our grandma's discussion. I couldn't get a pet guinea pig for many years.
He feared Gizmo would turn.
I didn't want my guinea pig. This is the logic I had as a 6-year-old. I didn't want my guinea pig to get wet and eat something after midnight and turn into a monster.
And the monsters were my big problem. So
Yeah.
like
It wasn't the guinea pig's fault. I just didn't want it to happen.
I was afraid of the dark too at that time. So, but so when Jennifer Connelly, Sarah is angry at little Toby, who couldn't freaking steal that teddy bear.
No, there's no way in hell that this child who cannot walk got into her room,
climbed up,
got up a good 8 feet to where the shelf is, get the bear, and then meander this bear back to his room. Now, yes, I know there's goblins and a monster that controls rocks with his voice in this movie, and David Bowie and the codpiece, but the most unbelievable thing is the baby stealing the teddy bear.
Have you considered the baby was on cocaine at that time?
It was the 80s. So it was a Jim Henson production. There was at least mushrooms.
Okay. So first off, goblin. No, I shouldn't. And you hear the you see all these monsters. Like, oh shit, I gotta cover my eyes.
Which is the same reaction I have when someone whips out a grinder. It's just like me and all my buddies. Oh,
but I'm scared because I'm thinking, oh shoot, these are like just gremlin knockoffs. And then you listen to their dialogue. Has she said it yet? No, shut up.
And then you realize
they're freaking Muppets.
And then you realize it's the Muppet Show with cocaine.
Yeah. Okay. But then it's like, she says the word, and David Bowie arrives, and
in all his cloth glory.
And I'm still confused that it's Goblin King. That's the Goblin King.
Yeah, the Goblin King looks like David flipping Bowie.
And, well, as I say, I didn't know Bowie at the time. I'm 8. My parents wouldn't let me watch MTV.
But couldn't you tell, like, as the kids would say, that dude had aura? Like, you could tell this was a bad dude.
So did Tina Turner.
Very good.
So like, oh please, give me back my baby brother. And then when I hear what's been said. Yeah. Like, okay, now I'm thrown off. So maybe I'm into maybe that's the dot. Like with Labyrinth, it's been said.
Yep.
Gender and sexuality is not determined until you watch Labyrinth.
Yes, I wholeheartedly, because you will learn things about yourself even as a 40-year-old rewatching Labyrinth.
I'm Neptunic. I mean, so yeah. So that's my story. So it's like, okay.
I mean, no, that's totally valid.
And thankfully, the codpiece straightened me out. Like, no, don't want anything to do with that. Okay.
For me, it was the voice. I'm gonna be perfectly honest. Like, I don't think I know that women enjoy his singing. I don't know if I could listen to Sweet Nothings in that voice. Like that just get the oogie boogie creepy vibes.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. Oh, well, again, as I said, I discovered something about me at 8. So, okay.
Hey, teach their own.
Yeah. Different strokes, whatever.
We don't kink judge.
No.
We might kink question, but we don't shame.
No. All right, so we go from action to Muppets, yeah.
Story of my life.
The important thing is we discovered that the real winner of 1985 action
was Schwarzenegger.
Was cocaine.
Well, yeah, okay, you're right.
But Arnold Schwarzenegger.
We did this entire podcast and we realized that cocaine really was a great thing for cinema in 1985.
Yeah, so I guess rewriting history again, like Vince McMahon. In the end, we're gonna say Schwarzenegger officially. But we know
it was that sweet booger sugar.
Yes. Do you want to build a snowman?
Why can I not remember anything from? I just watched Deadpool and Wolverine like last week. Granted, I was on herbal supplements at the time.
Yes. All right. Well, thank you.
Lots of them.
Well, thank you very much for sticking around the extra 5 minutes, abusing the fact, well, they close at 11. We'll get our asses out by then.
Everybody say, what are they going to do, make us leave?
Yeah. So you can, I drop a podcast weekly. I did Crazy Flicks. So this is the type of conversation you have to look forward to. Last episode is a movie called Caught Up with Bokeem Woodbine. And if you know Reanimator, we get Jeffrey Combs as Chekhov's security guard. You can go and probably YouTube the ending of this feature, but I think it feels so fulfilling if you earn it through this.
I'll have to put that one on my watch list.
It's on Tubi right now. But yes, Caught Up. I like to first, I do have a Patreon, patreon.com/IDidCrazyFlicks. Get yourself a magnet or sticker with your enrollment, ad-free podcast, and a shout out for each episode as long as you're a subscriber. So thank you, Tim Bates. You can find him on episodes about Night of the Demons, 1988, with
Leanna
Quigley. And Bloodsport in Space, as I like to call it, Arena.
I've got to make sure I find this movie.
Yeah, just Arena. It's Charles Band, Full Moon Pictures.
Okay.
This is still the Empire label, but thank you, The Scoop Staley, a great underappreciated wrestling talent, and my dad. And I always like to thank Stacia Marie Harden for looking after me, and I hope she's doing the same for everybody else she touched in her life, keeping us out of the too much trouble. Gotta have a little. And I hope she's squeezing the ectoplasm out of Skimbleshanks, the one-eared angel. So thank you for attending this panel. Check out IDidCrazyFlicks.com. And as Crowley from Good Omens would say, can I get a wahoo?
Thank you guys for staying.
This podcast was made possible by the love and support of Dave and Cindy Stevens, Rory Stevens and Allison Higgins, Danny Daniels, and Stephanie Smith.
Long live Flash! You've saved your Earth. Have a nice day.